No, I didn't do shit. Last night I went to Drewski's, the opposite, Black Taylor Swift. I went to a Drewski concert. I went to a Drewski concert.
That's how successful that man is.
It is insane. I went to a Drewski concert.
What was the median age at this Drewski concert that you were attending?
Honestly, all age. It was actually old people, young people. It was genuinely interesting.
Bringing together a whole generation.
It was
Or multiple generations.
Don't get me wrong. It should have been done at like Brooklyn Bowl. This was not a concert event that should have been at This was not a show
Drewski?
that deserved Barclays' attention. I feel like Barclays has other shows.
Sure.
This was and look, I saw A Boogie with the hoodie.
Nice.
New York legend. I saw Soulja Boy.
Whoa.
And boy, was it sad. Oh my God. It's just like, it's rough. It's rough because like when you see artists.
So this is all at Drewski's thing.
Yeah.
Cool.
And I want to say for the amount of money.
It's kind of like what Chappelle would do back in the day.
Yes.
Kind of.
When we say kinda, we really are using the word kinda.
Yeah.
Very, very.
The block parties.
Well, yeah, but like it's like internet version. But the music was fun. First off, I paid $23 for this ticket. Maybe like $30. So
for
like,
Barclays, that's pretty good.
And it was down the street from my house.
Yeah.
Got to have fun. That's why I can never really complain. Like all these little complaints are like very minute in comparison to the night I had of like going out, having fun, going drinking, watching fucking Cash Cobain, all these like artists come out, Soulja Boy, Lil Yachty, fun. It was just the what was interwoven in between the artists was just. It was a tough sit through. It was like...
What was it? Like skits?
I mean, bad, like not good ones. Like,
well, you don't go see Drewski for the comedy.
Like, yeah, that's what I learned.
You go to Drewski for the music.
I fuck with Drewski.
We all know that.
I like Drewski's sketches. Comics don't be liking Drewski's sketches.
Drewski is hilarious.
I like Drewski's sketches. Comics, I'm like, this is not. I don't think this is a
Comics
negative.
are morons. Comics are like, he's not a stand-up. It's like, good.
Last night
good.
he needed.
That's Drewski's best quality that he doesn't do stand-up.
I think. I agree. Like last night, I agree with that. That like, no, it's good that he
you were
doesn't
like, well, it could have used some punchlines.
Yeah, my boy. My boy could have used a couple of runs at the mic.
He could have had a little writer's room meeting or two.
Because boy, they was just doing. At one point, it was just a girl in a wheelchair. And she was like, she's like, Drewski, let me fuck. And he's like, they doing all the like, it was actually crazy. And then somebody asked her why her shoes were so white. And it was like a girl in a wheelchair. And it's like, the joke is she doesn't use her shoes. That's why they're so white. Because she ain't got no, her feet fucked up. But
so you were surprised at how lowbrow the Drewski comedy was. Is what you're telling me. And again, I want to say I do enjoy Drewski, but it's not like you're not going to go see Lenny Bruce.
I sympathize with
seeing Drewski.
I sympathize with audience members. We when comics waste their times, I'm like, what are we doing here?
Yeah.
What is happening here? You brought us out for this shit?
That's how I feel when I watch stand up these days. I'm like, dude, just bring fucking Lil Yachty on or something.
Oh my God.
What the fuck are you talking about?
Oh my God.
Now?
Honestly, every single time you could definitely bring out a musician instead of a comedian.
Yeah.
But no, I mean, go see it. $20. And if you got to travel more than 15 minutes, I would not see this concert. But if it's 15 minutes away from you, and you got $30.
There's a very specific Ashton Womack recommendation.
I promise if you have to travel more than 20 minutes for this concert, you are going to be pissed. You are going to be highly upset. But if it's like 15, I think this is a concert for you. So take that Ashton's 15-minute stamp of approval.
Hell yeah. On that note, let's start the show.
Start the pod.
All right, welcome, listeners. Thank you for tuning in, as always. Let's just start our show with our horrific roundup of headlines. So, starting out, jail cops in Amarillo, Texas, arrested after refusing to let an inmate out of his cell, which was on fire, and that led to his death. Yes, the identity of the victim has not yet been released.
ICE cops in Missouri have a man commit suicide in their custody, R.I.P. Leo Cruz Silva. He is apparently the 18th person to die in ICE custody so far this year.
Cop in Oklahoma City body slammed a 70-year-old man during a traffic stop almost a year ago and left him in the hospital ever since. That man has now died. R.I.P. Lich Vu.
Cop in Queen Creek, Arizona, fatally shoot a suicidal man. Identity of the victim has not yet been released.
Cops in Eagan, Minnesota are facing a lawsuit for arresting a man suffering a stroke and forcing him to die in jail. R.I.P. Kingsley Bimpong.
Cops in Wyandotte County, Kansas, are facing a lawsuit for kneeling on the back of an inmate's head until he died. R.I.P. Charles Adair.
ICE cops in Chicago shoot a woman in her car and then lie about what happened.
Cop in Tennessee arrests a man for experiencing a diabetic emergency for a DUI.
Jail cop in Sacramento charged with sexually assaulting an inmate.
Cop in Chicago pleads guilty to sexually assaulting a minor.
Cop in Broward County, Florida, arrested for domestic violence.
Cop in Tennessee indicted for domestic violence.
Cop in Williamson County, Texas, arrested for domestic violence.
Cop in Stamford, Connecticut, who was arrested for domestic violence, gets arrested again for bringing ammunition to the airport.
Cop in Corpus Christi, Texas, charged with sexually assaulting a victim of domestic violence.
Cop in Denver uses the police database to contact and ask out a victim of domestic violence.
Border cop in Henry County, Georgia, arrested in a sex trafficking sting.
Cop in Aurora, Colorado, arrested for possession of child sex abuse material.
Cop in Minnesota pleads guilty to producing child sex abuse material.
Cop in Alabama caught on video sexually harassing an 18-year-old 911 dispatcher.
Sheriff in Johnson County, Texas, who was arrested for sexually harassing his employees, will be allowed to return to work.
Cops in Jacksonville, Florida, are facing a lawsuit for violently arresting the wrong man and allowing their canine to maul him while he was handcuffed.
Cops in San Diego are facing a lawsuit for turning off their body cameras and savagely beating an unhoused man.
Cop in Alabama arrested for the second time this year after shooting into 3 homes.
Cops in Wilmington, Ohio, kill a dog.
Cop in Bedford Township, Michigan, kills 2 dogs.
Cop in Dillsburg, Pennsylvania, arrested for giving alcohol to teenagers.
Dillsburg.
Oh, God. That felt like that could have been our entire episode, how long that took.
Was,
how many headlines we had to read
Yeah.
for that one. But I'm glad it ended like a cop's getting arrested for giving alcohol to teens. That almost feels like a happy ending. Like,
If you're a cop in any city named Aurora, just for me, bro, chill.
Aurora? It's all Aurora, Colorado.
It's all stop.
Yeah, I know it feels like multiple Auroras, but it's all Aurora, Colorado.
Y'all gotta chill, bro.
Yeah.
Just for my jowls. I get Aurora.
We get a lot of Aurora. It's Aurora and Broward County, Florida, and Jacksonville, Florida. Yeah. Obviously, a lot of Florida in there, but yeah, I don't know what they're doing, what they're putting in the donuts in Aurora, Colorado, but that shit is not good. And I do want to mention, I remember. We were talking on the phone last week before our episode, and I was going to include some of the stuff going down in Chicago when they shot that woman, but it was so breaking, I didn't want to cover it yet. I wanted the dust to settle a little bit, and I had a good instinct to do that, it turns out, because the Chicago ICE agents were completely lying about this woman they shot, saying that she rammed their car into them, but now we have enough video footage coming out to show that they were lying when they did that. And this is also within a few days of the footage of, I don't know if you saw when the ICE cops shot the priest who was protesting, shot him in the head with a pepper ball. So there's a fucking, I don't know what there's a war zone going on in Chicago right now.
I mean, dude, we actually,
they accomplished them saying for so long that it's a war zone in Chicago. Everyone's in Chicago's like, no, it's not. And then they're like, oh, really? Oh, all right. Everybody, it's not a war zone? Okay.
No, they heard Chirac and they're like, we should invade that, right?
Yeah.
And literally, it's insane. It's like watching propaganda in real time is absolutely fucking nuts. Like, we live in the actual. They can take a phrase, negatively charge that phrase, and then put you into that. They can say Antifa. Well, what the fuck is Antifa? We don't know. We don't have to even say anything. We can just keep negatively charging this phrase with the most negative things you can think of, and then when it's time, we can deploy our military force. We label you as Antifa, and now you are justified. The military's actions, the public's actions against the military's actions against you are justified in the public's eye because you are now that thing that criminals. The criminals are the criminals. Well, what does criminal mean now in this context of the Trump administration? Anybody they deem not
supporting Antifa, which is nonsense. Like you said, it's like, and I don't know. Antifa seems to just be like some white dudes in Portland.
You can't even show leadership.
Very loosely. They're acting like it's fucking Al Qaeda.
I mean, it's Antifa. I mean, it's basic as fuck. It's like Antifa and socialism and all that shit is just like, if you have any like, I hate that it's always like left leaning, because I don't even see it as left leaning or right leaning anymore. I'm like, dude, there's like good moral ideas for like the community and us at large, and then there's just bad, selfish, individualistic like things that we do. The left and right paradigm to me always like messes me up, because I'm like, dude, no, there's like good ideas and then there's bad ideas. Well,
you're right. I think that's a good point, because like it's always like they always said first they came for the communists, and I said nothing. Like they go there's the historical targeting of the left, and that could be communists and socialists and like union and activists and protesters. But with Trump, it's like he lumps in just like the average liberal person who's just kind of like, I don't want ICE kidnapping my neighbors. And now those people it's basically half the country has been lumped into leftist activists that need to be targeted.
No, and it'll keep growing. It won't just be like, and not to be like, they came for the communists. They have the term woke right. They come for their, like, it's encroaching.
Really?
Yes.
I haven't heard that.
It's encroaching even in onto right-wing politics. Like woke right is an actual thing, and it's actual like how it was like the rift between Charlie Kirk and
Charlie Kirk got killed by his own,
and it's like that's
his own side.
Yeah, no. So these people can label anybody anything.
Allegedly, people got a lot of theories on that. But let's get into the horse shit we'll be talking about this episode. We got a lot to talk about. So we will be talking about a former cop posting a Charlie Kirk meme that got him arrested for threatening a mass shooting at a school.
Speak of the devil.
Yeah, literally. Exactly what we were talking about. If that sentence sounds confusing to you, then I think you should just tune in to the explanation of that sentence. We got Apple internally categorizing ICE agents as an oppressed class. We got more damning details on the Texas cops who used the Flock license plate cameras to track down a woman who got an abortion. And we'll be talking about the tragic deaths both of Kingsley Bimpong, who we mentioned earlier in our headlines, and the death of Kyren Lacey.
And for our extra special best friends over on the Patreon, $5 a month, please subscribe, help your boys out. We will be talking about the Arizona Sheriff's Office misuse of funds meant to fight against racial profiling, and a black mother facing 10 years in prison for using her EBT card to buy ingredients for her bakery. Free her.
Yes. We got a couple great episodes for y'all, I believe. So starting out, going to Tennessee and reading from the Tennessean. Headline: Man charged with making threats after Charlie Kirk death to have December bond hearing. So the first Tennessean arrested in connection with a threatening social media post referencing Charlie Kirk's shooting death made his first court appearance and has his second scheduled to determine bond. Larry Bouchard, 61, of Lexington, Tennessee, was charged September 22nd with making threats of mass violence at a school. Bouchard appeared in a Perry County court October 9th and saw his case reset to 9 a.m. December 4th for a preliminary bond hearing. His bond was originally set at $2 million. Record show. That's so crazy.
Damn.
The December 4th hearing. What's his bond? Make it infinity. Make it. What's Dr.
This man
Evil?
is a demon. Oh, he needs to be off the streets. His fingers shouldn't be able to touch another computer again.
The December 4th hearing will determine if Bouchard's bond is changed, and preliminary facts will be presented to determine if his case is bound over. And that just means if it'll be taken to a higher court. Bushart is a former police officer with the Huntingdon Police Department. The charges against him stem from a series of social media posts he made about conservative influencer Charlie Kirk on September 10th. Bushart allegedly posted multiple photos in the comment section of a Perry County community Facebook group page. So this just got like boomer written all over it. So not only is it on Facebook, it's on a Facebook group community page for their town in Tennessee. And former cop in his 60s on there, and I'm all about innocent until proven guilty and stuff. And these charges are insane. But the fact that he is a former cop does make me kind of look twice.
No, this is funny. That
Wait a minute.
They see him as a danger. Like this boomer Punisher over here. Just, he's like kicking in doors and posting memes. Like he's
yeah.
Why are they acting like this dude? It's very funny that this dude is like.
It is ridiculous. But hold on. I set off our jokes too quickly here, because let me get to like what actually he posted before we start talking about this. Perry County Sheriff Nick Weems told the Tennessean in a statement that participants on the page were planning to hold a vigil for Kirk in Linden, Tennessee on September 23rd. So they're in a sensitive sort of mood here. Bushart posted what Weems called, quote, hate memes about Kirk's death, but said the memes were not against the law and will be recognized as free speech. One image caught law enforcement's attention, though. Weems said Bushart posted a Trump meme, which depicted Trump saying, quote, we have to get over it. A direct quote from the president after a January 2024 school shooting in Perry County, Iowa, that left 1 dead and 7 wounded. So remember, Perry is also the county of this community in Tennessee. The picture Bushart posted consisted of an image of Trump along with the quote, and is attributed to Donald Trump on the Perry High School mass shooting 1 day after, but did not mention the state of Iowa. The phrase, "this seems relevant today," tops the photo. So it's obvious what the meme is. Trump saying, let's just get over this after a school shooting. He's saying, let's just get over this. Your boy, quoting your boy, let's just get over this after Charlie Kirk was shot, right? Seems
now we
simple
care about,
enough.
Now we care about, he's saying the subtext is now we care about gun victims.
Yes. It's a rad lib resistance meme, and it's not for everyone.
But if you don't think the people who got upset at this don't know this, like they can't, they know this. They weaponize their stupidity and their privilege. It was actually a unique, they pulled out both the pistols.
Let's pull out the stupid guns.
They knew. They purposely like pretended to be offended.
Yeah, it's unbelievable. It's unbelievable.
And it's like the most snowflake like you always be like liberal snowflake tear shit. And it's like, dude, you're faking misunderstanding what this dude says so you can fucking protect.
Yeah, I mean, white
Trump.
people are so mad. They're like, they get Juneteenth and yet they make fun of Charlie Kirk.
Yeah. Which
that ain't right.
I know what I'm dressing up as next Juneteenth.
The Tennessean, okay, that's just the name of this publication, cross-referenced the photo and found it was posted numerous times across multiple social media platforms not connected to Bushart going back to 2024. But Weems, hilarious name, said Bushart posted the picture, quote, to indicate or make the audience think it was referencing our Perry High School. Quote, this led teachers, parents, and students to conclude he was talking about a hypothetical shooting at our school, Weems said. Numerous people reached out in concern. They did not.
What was the school county?
It's Perry. Perry is in the name.
No, what's the name of the school district you said? Like Weems County or something?
No, okay. Weems is the name of the sheriff.
Oh, shit.
The Sheriff Weems. Put some respect on his name, all right? I know it's hard to respect a name like Weems, but that is the main... one of the main characters of this story is Sheriff Weems and former Officer Bushart.
But I'm trying to say, what's the name of the place? Where is it at?
It's Perry County.
Oh, Perry County, okay.
And then the name of the school in Iowa or Idaho, which, oh God, we're so bad at Iowa, okay, is Perry. also. So they got a Perry High School, and then this town's got a Perry High School as well.
Okay.
And that's the extent of, and then Sheriff Weems is saying, like, people were calling in afraid. It's like, dude, I just don't believe that shit.
Yeah, no.
He made that connection himself, and he's like, I'm gonna fucking arrest this guy
lying.
and charge him for making terrorist threats to a school, which I looked it up, carries 6 years in prison. This is literally,
Fuck.
you know when
They
we
can
make.
just straight up lie. They're just straight up reframe and lie. A old dude posted a fucking boomer ass Facebook meme to a Facebook group, and they're just like terroristic threats to a fucking school.
This guy, I'm gonna say he's a Reagan Republican.
And it was like it's all Karens in the comment. This is what should scare you. Surveillance state is one thing, but one ran by Karens is another like level of oh fuck, because that like. Imagine it's like Big Brother's watching and he's calling the manager type shit. Like Karen.
Facebook is a scary place in general. You know, I wouldn't recommend doing any political discourse on Facebook because like the powers that be are trying to take over TikTok and Instagram and Twitter and try to get them to be right wing. With Facebook, they're like, oh, they kind of did the work on the inside. This is actually we can move our resources away from Facebook and focus on TikTok.
We actually just replicating this culture we found on Facebook. We're just trying to bring that to other places. This organically developed.
Exactly.
This was organic. This was like this society, this tribe of psychopaths.
We didn't need to
That's
do
the thing
shit.
is this dude. Not the victim blame, but it's like, bro, you did this in like the county voted like 70% Trump. It's like you were no longer in a county. You are in a fucking a Trump cell. You are in, and that was you.
He's a former cop who hates Trump. He's truly one of one.
Yeah.
He's a man on an island.
Better take that shit to blue sky. Do that shit over here.
First they came for the lib cops. Then I said nothing.
Hey.
For there are no other lib cops except for that one guy.
We only post community posts and George Floyd memes. Those are the only things allowed in this community center.
It is insane. I mean, it's the joke everyone makes. Like, oh, they're gonna throw us in concentration camps for memes, and it's like, well, they're doing it to this one cop.
Yeah.
Officer Jimmy Kimmel. Free him. Free Officer Jimmy. Yeah. All right?
They literally are like all the it's illegal to misgender somebody or some shit like that, and it's like you post a meme about Trump, they'll be like, he just tried to shoot up a school. Meanwhile, half of their kids are like actively like click motherfucker. That's
they're like, this school shooter just had a mental illness. All right, no reason for him to do prison time. Meanwhile, I'm like, this school shooter over here who posted a meme.
35 years. Let him spend the rest of his old ass fucking life in prison. No, damn. This
$4 trillion in bail.
Free this dude. Damn.
Free this guy.
Damn. Just
free this cop. That's right. You heard it first. Cops the podcast.
You press repost on the wrong thing, nigga. You getting your butthole pushed in. All right, I'm sorry. That's a negative stereotype about police and prisons, but
negative stereotype about prisons, yes.
But I do think Karen should not have access to the FBI. I stick by that because I just saw the Facebook comments under the post, and they were just like, serves him right. It was like, oh my God, they're so happy that this dude's getting this old man who, by the way, all you Law and Order freaks out there, this dude was fucking, he was all you stormtroopers, you're only as good to them until you're not. Because you're beating on all these people, fucking taking away their rights, doing all this, being a fucking weapon of the state against your fellow man, and then once you retire and decide to develop your own opinions, that mob is going to turn right back. Hey, bitch, we don't want law and order.
So I hope all the Trump supporters who listen to our podcast regularly take Ashton's words seriously.
Blue lives matter until your ass say something that goes against our fucking Lord and Savior, bitch. So,
All right, so now we're going to move on to a story that's all over the news right now. Kyren Lacey, very tragic story. Kyren Lacey was a star football player on LSU, was breaking records, was headed to the NFL, and then allegedly caused a fatal car accident in Lafourche Parish, Louisiana. I mean, that's as much of a we're gonna frame black people as a place you can imagine. Lafourche Parish, Louisiana, and he was accused of this by the police, and months later,
and everybody who saw it, not just the police, everybody. Well, the reason why it was super big is because it was also blew up online as soon as the story happened. Every Barstool sports guy was tweeting. You know, they got to let the racist dog whistles out. They got to see a black kid in a fucking green Charger speeding down what looked like to them to be driving recklessly. And so they got to get off their little racist. Just thoughts.
They get a chance to be racist without being racist, quote unquote, right?
They're definitely being racist.
Yeah, but yeah, the tragedy was that Kyren Lacey ended up committing suicide over all this, and so we have an update on all this, which is the district attorney's office has come in and published their investigation. And their investigation, long story short, like we see like a clip of a video of Kyren Lacey speeding in his Dodge Charger, and they said him speeding and overtaking all these vehicles caused these other cars to have to avoid him, and that led to the car accident. But now we know from the district attorney's investigation that, yes, he was speeding and overtook these like 4 cars, but then guess what? He got back in his lane safely and was almost 100 yards behind where the accident took place. So where the accident took place, those people had no idea about Kyren Lacey so far behind him, a football field behind him, by the time he safely got back into the lane. So that's one thing. Mm-hmm. The other thing that's more really damning for these cops is this body camera footage where this cop is talking to this guy, this witness, and he's asking him like, you know, so what did you see? And like he kind of explains it, and he's like, okay, well, he goes, I'm gonna need you to sign this statement, but don't worry about writing your name or your address or any of that. Which seems suspicious. I don't know. I'm not a cop. Seems like you would want them to write their information down. But he's like, don't worry about doing that. And then he listens to what the guy has to say, and he's basically like, okay, but what about the Charger? Wasn't it that Charger that like made you, da-da-da? And then he literally tells the guy, he's like, no. That Charger had nothing to do with it. He was like, the lady behind me. The lady behind me, he's like, first of all, I did not even have to hit my brakes. I was not, because he was like, the Charger made you, the cop was like, the Charger made you have to hit your brakes, hit your emergency brake, and that made you skid. And then he was like, no, I was not going fast. I did not skid. And the lady behind me was trailing too close to me. That was the problem, was the lady behind me. And the district attorney's investigation confirmed that she was like, they said I forget, it was either 1 or half a second behind the car in front of her. And he gives his whole explanation, and the cop, it's so obvious he does not give a shit about what he has to say. And then it was revealed that in the statement that was given, the statement that was written was basically what the cop wanted him to say, but did not reflect. Now we have body camera footage of what he actually said, which was not what he allegedly wrote down, unsigned. The statement was unsigned. And remember, right away, he was like, put your name, or he's like, don't worry about putting your name in, da-da-da. So it seems like he fucking framed Kyle, like it seems like it's beyond dumbass, negligent, stupid.
It wasn't just the bad framing of the footage that like went viral on the internet. It was also the framing, the police intentionally framing.
The other type of framing.
Yeah, they just actually like, and just so we can really make sure this job is done, we're gonna frame this dude, which has untold consequences, like the weight of the guilt that kid faced for like all those months, and he ends with him taking his life, which I can't even imagine having to have that sit on your soul. I can't. I mean, I'm sure he knew he didn't cause the wreck, but I mean, like
the stress. But it also maybe even could have been guilt. Maybe he was convinced because the whole world is saying he did something. Like I can't imagine. And he's a young kid,
and he thinks his life. Bro, I got arrested for weed, and I thought when I was 20, I was like, "Oh, my life is over." So I couldn't only imagine the weight of someone. You work your whole life. Your whole life is dedicated to making it to the league. Like these kids, like they train hard. They stay dedicated, especially like one who has a Charger. He was already a talked about prospect, and for him to like have those opportunities, just. Be lost right in front of him like that. I'm sure.
And they said that he killed someone.
Yeah.
They said you killed this person. So I don't know.
And I can also the racist. We don't even know the racist like threats this dude was getting because you do anything online as a person of color, and white people will be in your DMs being like, "Yeah, I'll be here."
Oh yeah, dude! All the fucking cartoon profile picture,
Patriot Act 569
unbridled hate memes, you could say.
Everything the children that won't talk to me, I'm taking it out on you, motherfucker, in this comment section. And you're like, all right,
that's a Friday night for a divorced dad.
Crack a couple brewskis and just yell at a liberal online.
But yeah, I mean that's what we're not seeing enough talked about, in my opinion, with all the media that's because it's like real media is talking about this, is the fucking racism that is undeniable. You can't just ignore it. Like, and we don't know. That's the thing. I can't say for sure that the reason this guy seemed to want to frame this kid is because he was a black kid. Can't say that for sure, but all I know is that this cop fits a description of the type of person who would be racist, and that description is a fucking cop in Louisiana. Lafourche Parish, Louisiana PD sounds pretty damn racist to me.
Yeah, listen.
Just going off of my instincts.
You cross that Mason-Dixon line, the odds of a cop being racist is already 80%, but it definitely skyrockets to 1,000%.
Oh, yeah. A green Charger, I mean,
just angry, just jealous. So that cool black guy in a green Charger, we got to do something about that, right?
Yeah. And the witness he was talking to was a black man as well. And so I like to think that he was smart enough to see where this was going. That's why he so adamantly he was smart. He adamantly was like, no, this, and this. And just does not make it in the statement at all.
Yeah, well, that's the director's cut to the body cam.
Good God, man. Right. Well, yeah, we got to move on. R.I.P., man. What a fucking tragedy. Kyren Lacey. That kid was definitely on his way to the NFL. He was already a star at LSU. So, it's fucking tragedy.
Yeah, but we'll continue. We're going to Minnesota. Eagan, Minnesota via Minnesota Public Radio. Eagan police ignored man's stroke symptom during traffic stop. Wrongful death suit alleges, which I don't know if you've been listening to this podcast. We've encountered multiple stories where cops...
Insane that this is a pattern.
Just completely... Someone's in medical distress and the cops just arrest them for being in the middle of a seizure. Or in the middle, as we're going to learn, a stroke. But we will go to the story. The family of a Cottage Grove man who died after a DWI arrest in Eagan last year alleges in a federal lawsuit filed Thursday that police and jail staff mistook symptoms of a major stroke for drug impairment and let him languish for hours without any medical treatment. Kingsley Bimpong, a legal permanent resident from Ghana, left his post office job before his shift ended on November 16th after complaining of a headache and decreased vision. While driving in Eagan late that evening, Bimpong, 50, ran a red light, veered into oncoming traffic, and drove his vehicle onto the center median of a road. According to a wrongful death lawsuit filed by attorneys at the Robbins Kaplan firm on behalf of Bimpong's partner, Rosalind Lewis, and cousin Josephine Aduya Ganyane, when Eagan Police Sergeant Joseph Mosing stopped Bimpong's vehicle at 10:44 p.m., Bimpong appeared confused, could not articulate a complete sentence or thought, and was unable to state his name, where he was going, or where he lived. Over the next 8 minutes, 2 other Eagan policemen arrived, including Officer Martin Jensen, who is specially trained as a drug recognition evaluator. This dude needs to be reevaluated.
That's his whole damn job.
Yeah.
Is to do that. It's so crazy to see that scene. Like, even beyond like this man could have had a stroke. Like, if he just was in a car accident. So like that, like if someone is acting like confused and stuff after a car accident, it could be a concussion. Like, it doesn't even have to be a pre-existing medical condition. For the cops, we talk about this so much, but like this disdain they have for the public, this fear they have of the public, that's been beat into them through their training. Like, this is how it comes out. Cops. It comes out as a man needs help. A man's just gotten into a car accident, and they're like approaching with their guns drawn already. I mean, I don't know if they did in this situation. That's not what I'm saying. I'm just saying their vibe, their mentality is just insane.
Yeah, no, this is cops like literally only see people as they see people, humans, the citizens that they're supposed to protect and serve as two things: threat or non-threat. And if they can't establish you as a non-threat, you're a threat. Like, they have the same. They see like these stories. I cannot help but like. They respond to people in medical attention who need medical attention and assistance like a dog would see someone having like like they don't have an actual
dude, that's not even true, because there's dogs trained to like help people.
You're right. I take that back.
It's worse than a dog. Dogs have instincts.
Yeah, they do.
Dogs,
and also they will save. You know what? They do save. No, they don't even
don't
do
be
that.
dissing dogs,
yeah,
bro.
You're right.
Yeah.
I bet animal. They have like this like. You're right. Animal. I take that back, because animals have this level of compassion. There's no. You're right.
Maybe like a bug. Maybe like a mosquito or something.
I just don't see how you see. I don't understand the disconnect between like their humanness and then they're like, once they put the uniform on, it's like transforms them. Because a normal outside of cops existed, just as now you're just operating in regular personhood. Who are these people who walk around and see someone who needs medical attention and it just starts kicking them? Or it just starts like, oh shit, I gotta tie him up and throw him in a locker. Like, who are people who can see someone having a seizure, having a heart attack, having some type of like medical? As soon as you see somebody in any type of medical need, everybody jumps to like act. People become alert.
Yes.
It's like a human, like, just nature.
He would have been better off if anyone except for the cops
literally
came. They all would have helped him. Oh, this man needs help.
When people gather around people aren't just like walking past fucking sick dead bodies. If someone's like having a seizure, they're gonna like, people walk over and be like, oh, let me actually like help this person.
Throw this man in jail.
Cops
lock him up.
Have to go through protocol, which is like, dude, it's a level of like, I can't even like, bro.
The level of fearing for their lives, I mean, they're so afraid all the time, and it's like when you put on when you put on that uniform and you strap a gun to your waist, shouldn't that make you less afraid? Shouldn't that make you braver, more courageous? But instead, they just get into like immediate fight or flight mode at the drop of a damn needle, and they see a man. And of course, again, race is so we could never prove it, but it's so obviously a factor here. If it was. You know,
I mean, it goes to show you what
he's from Ghana. He was a black man with dreads,
and it shows. It's a story that I think exemplifies like the literal how when someone becomes a criminal or we label them criminal or prisoner or anything like that, they're invisible already. The invisible nature of like. You being a criminal, we can do whatever we want. No one's paying attention. No, no one's paying attention over here. So we can. This guy's fucking sick. I'm gonna take him off the streets. I'm gonna take him. I'm gonna get into the rest of the story. But like when you see the footage, like I watched the news story, the cops are just like puppeteering this dude around. Like he's dead. He's basically dead. His like last hours, they're just like they miss a lot of protocols, which I'm gonna read into. But they're just like. Once you're a criminal, they don't care. They don't even care to do the proper paperwork on you. They're just like, throw his ass in the thing, and he dies because no one cares. But I'm going to continue the story so you understand. According to body camera video captured by a third officer and partially transcribed in the civil complaint, Mosing allegedly told Jensen that he did not smell alcohol and was still not convinced that this isn't a medical-related more than impairment-related. I'm sorry, let me read that again. Still not convinced that this isn't medical-related more than impaired-related. The plaintiffs allege that Jensen failed to go through the drug recognition evaluation and ignored the unassailable fact that Kingsley was suffering from a medical emergency observable from the moment he was stopped. Something you can see with your eyes. They just completely ignored. Jensen and Mosing are also alleged to have muted their body-worn cameras at times in violation of department policy. 17 minutes into the traffic stop, Jensen and Monsing arrested Bimpong and took him to Egan Police Department headquarters, where he remained handcuffed while the officers waited for a judge to return a search warrant for Bimpong's blood. You are on a life, your life is in danger. Every moment counts. Your body's shutting down and you have to wait, not for medical assistance, a judge to grant you a warrant to search your body. But according to the lawsuit, Jensen and Mosing again discussed the possibility that Bimpong could be suffering from a medical issue, but did not get care for him, though his condition continued to deteriorate.
To me, that says so much about like the culture of policing, because like they both clearly have mixed feelings about what
is this guy sick or is he drunk?
They at least have mixed feelings, and instead they're both pressured in the direction to treat him like a criminal, rather being pressured the other way to go with their other instincts. They clearly at least had those two instincts, but we see again and again with these stories that when a group of cops, you would expect one of them to do the right thing. It's surprising to see all of them unanimously not go into a room during a school shooting or not say the obvious thing that this guy just maybe needs help. And to me, it just points to like the whole cultural issue that cannot be reformed, that cannot be training. Oh, a new training video will take care of this.
I think they have a term for that. I think it's called a bad apple.
Exactly.
Spoils the bunch.
Yeah.
But on booking paperwork, a jail staffer noted incorrectly that Bimpong had a language barrier, though he spoke English, and that a medical questionnaire could not be completed. Though Bimpong was unable to walk under his own power, deputies escorted him to a holding. Let me reread that sentence. Though Bimpong was unable to walk under his own power, deputies escorted him to a holding cell. After about 15 minutes, he stumbled to the toilet area of the cell, fell backwards onto the toilet, and soon collapsed onto the floor. Bimpong lay there for hours, foaming at the mouth and urinating in his pants, while multiple deputies passed by the cell's floor to ceiling windows and even conducted well-being checks.
Dude, so many fucking opportunities to correct the path.
They did not. It's like on every level they failed because no one's watching. No one cares about criminals. No one cares. A migrant, a Ghanesian criminal. I don't even know that. Is that Ghanaian criminal. No one like. I
mean that line was brutal to me. That like it was so heartbreaking that they assumed there was a language barrier. Like he was struggling to speak because he was having a stroke. But because they see that this guy is a migrant, they're just like, oh, he just can't speak English. Duh.
Pat on the back goes around. Pat on the back, everybody. Wonderful job. After nearly 3.5 hours, a nurse and guard entered the holding cell and took Bimpong's vital signs. Jail staff called for an ambulance, and EMTs arrived just before 5 a.m. on November 17th. Bimpong was transported to a hospital in Hastings, where a CT scan found massive intracerebral bleeding. He was transferred to United Hospital in St. Paul, where he was declared brain dead. Doctors disconnected him from life support on November 19th. The Ramsey County medical examiner determined that he died of an intracerebral hemorrhage. Neither the hospital toxicology screen nor the medical examiner's post-mortem toxicology report found any drugs or alcohol in his system.
Yeah, they fucking killed this guy. Like, again, if any other person would have come across this, they would have immediately called an ambulance, gotten him some help.
Pure negligence. They kidnapped this dude off the streets in the middle of a freaking stroke and then just let him die. Like, the worst case scenario, like, oh, is somebody coming to help? No, we are going to throw you in a box and let you die there. Like, that's...
And even if you're, like, on the street and you find someone who is on drugs, and they're like fucked up that badly to where they're causing car accidents, they're stumbling around, they can't talk, they can't stand up, then that also you would want to help them. Yeah. You would want them to not hurt themselves. You're not overdose. Like it the cops have to override that humanity every single step of the way, to the point where they're doing fucking quote unquote wellness checks on him every 15 minutes, and they're seeing him lying on the ground urinating on himself, and they still are just like, fucking criminal, fucking scum of the earth. Glad we got him locked up. Glad the city's now safer thanks to our work.
I'm just like, also, you don't act like y'all ain't cops. You motherfuckers are alcoholics. Don't act like you ain't never seen a drunk before. Okay, it's your first time.
Y'all aren't drinking and driving every fucking Christmas party.
You can't recognize a drunk person. Look in the fucking mirror and be like, okay, I think this guy's having a stroke. This guy does not look like we are not on the same.
He hasn't complained about his bitch wife one time. I don't recognize this as a drunk man.
This doesn't seem like the type of and also I'm just like, bro, this will make you hesitate to call 911 because it's like, I need the good kind, the one that's not the like. Don't send the fucked up kind because you'll send the one that's
Show me the memes he's been posting and I'll decide based on that.
It's like, imagine having a medical emergency, you call 911 and instead of a fucking EMT, they send the police to beat you, and it's like, well, thanks, appreciate it, buddy.
And he was a post office worker, an actual good public servant, killed by some people who masquerade as public servants.
It's just straight up negligence. It's just like uncaring. There's language.
I mean,
for this.
negligence at the least.
Yeah,
at the least,
and not caring on like the multiple degrees of why you wouldn't care about a person. You're an immigrant. You're dark skinned. You're fucking you look like you're having a stroke, so I'm allowed to I'm a cop.
Well, like being someone who's on drugs, like that shouldn't make you hate a person and treat them like less than human. Like that person also deserves humanity, even if they are on drugs, which he wasn't.
Yeah, when it comes to like the society, what we've agreed upon is the society that like is the people we don't like. This guy checked in all the boxes to the police for the police. So they felt justified in treating him like shit and treating like no one's gonna give a fuck. This is, they didn't care. So that's it. I feel like this only gave us a window into like what goes on into like prisons and jail, because this dude was such an innocent person and such a person who's like, oh, he 100% didn't deserve this. Well, the other people in jail also did not deserve the shit that we don't get reported on. We just let them get treated like that. But the officers, and they all clearly feel comfortable, like this is the environment to do this. They feel like this is norm, company, not company, but like department policy. This is just how our standards here. We're a little lackadaisical because we're criminals. We're dealing here. We're dealing with the trash of the trash. So it doesn't matter. We can accidentally kill a guy.
And that whole drug thing, like, he wasn't on drugs, but they thought he was, so they treated him like dog shit. We see that everywhere. We see that with, like, speaking of fucking hate memes, with, like, the George Floyd thing. Like, that's, like, the conservative, trolly 4chan thing about George Floyd, is that they love, like, that the fact that they found, like, traces of drugs in his system. That's their whole argument of, like, well, he did drugs at some point. Yeah. Therefore, why do we grant him any humanity? Yeah. And it's like a little thing. It's like the same as being a prisoner. It's like, oh, he was a prisoner, fuck him. Oh, he was doing drugs, fuck him. It's like, but we see, like, then the argument revolves around that. Like, no, he wasn't on drugs, actually. It was like, even if he was on drugs, people, guess what?
Yeah,
you motherfuckers do drugs. Yeah. Everyone fucking does drugs, like, that's the reality of the world, but somehow it can be a death sentence. It could revoke you of all your humanity if you happen to be targeted by the police and do the thing that everyone does every weekend, all the time anyways.
Yeah. R.I.P. to freaking, I'm going to get his name fully correct, Mr.
Kingsley Fifi Bimpong. R.I.P. Damn. So next we are going to a insane story. So we covered this on our Patreon a couple months ago. We're talking about the flock cameras, and we're talking about abortion being effectively completely illegal in the South. And the story was about a woman in Texas who had taken the abortion pill, self-administered abortion, and then police in Texas were able to access 80,000 flock camera footage. So flock, that's the LPR cameras, the license plate cameras, those cameras you see on every fucking street corner. Those are meant to read license plates. They were originally there to help find missing persons and stolen vehicles. But since then, they have been able to be taken over by the police to just track all of us at all times, because they're taking these constant photos. They're just photos. They're not videos. But because they're these constant photos at every street corner, they essentially are videos. They could track us, photo here, photo there, and they're statewide. Or across state lines. And that causes issues where cops are able to go effectively out of their jurisdiction and look at, that's what these Texas cops were doing. They were searching Illinois, California, all outside their jurisdiction, using this mass surveillance tool that all of a sudden has come upon us.
So it's like if Satan invented a picto book, and if he's like started going through and he's like, I know where you are.
Yeah, and the ICE is using this. That's another legal thing they're not supposed to be doing.
Our podcast is just slowly becoming just welcome to the technological hell you live in.
Nightmare,
that the police use.
Yeah. And so the cops were tracking down a woman for getting an abortion. So the exact nightmare that we knew was coming, we are here. But they said that they were tracking her because she was listed as a missing person from her family. Her family didn't know where she was. They're like, no, it's not the abortion. We don't even care about that. We love women's right to choose. We were just making sure she was okay. Well, now we got our obvious update because they've had to turn over internal records, and it's even worse than we assumed at first. Because remember, that's something we have the right to do on this podcast is assume shit. And we were doing that. And we were right, but it's worse than you might think. So let's read. I'm reading from Electronic Frontier Foundation. They do a lot of great work on all this dystopian tech nightmare horror show stuff that we like to talk about. So the article is headlined, Flock Safety and Texas Sheriff Claimed License Plate Search Was for a Missing Person. It was for an abortion investigation. New documents and court records obtained by EFF show that Texas deputies quarried flock safety surveillance data in an abortion investigation, contradicting the narrative promoted by the company and the Johnson County Sheriff that she was, quote, being searched for as a missing person and that it was, quote, about her safety. The new information shows that deputies had initiated a death investigation of a, quote, non-viable fetus, logged evidence of a woman's self-managed abortion, and consulted prosecutors about possibly charging her. Johnson County Sheriff Adam King repeatedly denied the automated license plate reader search was related to enforcing Texas' abortion ban, and Flock Safety called media accounts, quote, false, misleading, and clickbait. However, according to a sworn affidavit by the lead detective, the case was in fact a death investigation in response to a report of an abortion, and deputies collected documentation of the abortion from the, quote, reporting person, her alleged romantic partner. So let's pause real quick. How fucking 1984 is this death investigation for women getting abortions, and they're now it's a homicide shit over their again non-viable fetus. What does that mean? That means the fetus was not going to be born. It was only going to harm this woman, and so she took a self-administered abortion. Now it's a death investigation.
I'll say it. I got a new Subway takes. I want to go redo my Subway takes. The South doesn't deserve pussy. I'm from there. I'm from the South. They just do not deserve any type of pussy whatsoever. I don't think anyone should be. I think I'm almost with the Christians. Sex should be banned in the South, but only because women should still be able to have sex, but just like we got to find like
The only way you can have sex in the South is if you get gay married. Not regular marriage.
Yeah.
Gay marriage only. Until y'all figure your shit out,
Because
that's the only way.
It's insane. Like hunting a woman down, like that's what our laws are for. Hunting, it doesn't even make sense. It's like, how can you justify? At some point, what was the Martin Luther King quote? Like, you protest an unjust law, or the laws can clearly be unjust and used against people, and this is a clear example of laws being being used against fucking women. Even if it's used against like. It's being used against like women like directly to attack like their right as their right to exist. Their right to exist as who they want to be. You want to talk about freedom in America? It's like women don't even have the freedom to exist in the state that they want to exist in. The only state they're allowed to exist in is in a mother state, a pregnant state, a married state, damn near. So it's like when I see shit like this, it's like, one, obviously it's scary now. It's like scary now. My cousin, she just, never mind. It's scary now.
Yeah.
And you see,
and this is police work now. This is what we knew what was going to happen. Whenever this shit became illegal, whenever something becomes illegal, who is on the front lines of enforcing that? The fucking law enforcement officers. And this is like detective work in the South now. This is like Law and Order SVU of the South. Just like these trained detectives putting magnifying glasses on women's bellies, just being like, I think we found a clue right here. I think I need to do a little bit more investigating.
I'm like, what would this is? First off, this is like already worst case scenario. I'm already like, damn, they are charging women for murder, for having abortions, for not wanting to be moms, for choosing their own, for all the individualism that we talk shit about in America. You're not free to be who you are, apparently. But like this, if this is where we are right now, then I'm like, okay, what else? Because all they want to do is keep edging. They love edging. They just want to keep us edging us to the most right-wing fascist.
We actually banned edging 4 weeks ago, so that's actually blatantly false.
Yeah. We ever since everybody had to sign up to the app to see where your jerk off app, where we keep we keep a database of how often you jerk off, and if you reach more than 2 hours, we are arresting you.
Ma'am, get on your knees. Are you pregnant? Are you pregnant, ma'am? You got to tell me. She's like,
don't you spit?
No. Oh, my apologies, ma'am. I'm so sorry for that intrusion.
I just think that we're like 10 minutes away from just like forced. Like women aren't gonna be able to get divorces. Fucking people are. I think my ultimate like fear of like the dystopia we're gonna live in, America's gonna break down. Right, the states are gonna be. We're gonna have Bezos land. We're gonna have Elon world, and they're all gonna have like, it's just gonna be these rich, feudal systems, and it's obviously. Women, and by women I do mean 13-year-olds and up, are going to be forced into marriage. And I'm joking. All these sound like exaggerations, but then you go and look at the policies, and then the people who are pushing the policies that are like edging us a little bit right this way, and then you look at the spheres of influence that they operate in, and you hear the language that's being thrown around in these little what do they call echo chambers? I didn't just make these up.
Yeah.
The child,
Child marriage gets the Republicans in some of these southern states. They'll try to ban child marriage and they'll shoot it down.
We'll see. Not only will they shoot it down. Obviously, we just saw during this government shutdown. We just saw Republicans vote unanimously, completely under party, unanimous as a party to protect a pedophile, to like don't release the Epstein like list. And they're like saying part of this government shutdown might be because they're trying to. Because they have the votes to release the files right now, they're like, "Oh shit, we're gonna wait on that." But this from Roy Moore, the
wow, throwback.
What I'm saying is like, I'm scared of these laws because we're already watching them enact laws. They're already like the Great Replacement theory shit was just like a theory, and then now they're ethnically cleansing migrants to keep their numbers.
Yeah.
Not 2050. So I don't think that the child marriage laws, all the little the other extremist I am worried that their voices are also going to get through, much like the ICE agent voices.
Yeah.
The once would have thought to be an extreme measure and like fringe voice is now mainstream policy. So that's why I'm like, damn, if we're here.
Oh yeah.
If we're hunting down women who have abortions, where to next?
Texas got the top abortion detectives in the whole country. Our abortion unit is not to be trifled with.
That would be insane.
Law and Order abortion unit coming soon. Televisions near you.
It's just like you can't get no respect. Who are you? You gonna even like at least like detectives used to be cool because they like hunted down murderers and fucking like bank robbers. You're hunting down fucking.
We got a clue, fellas. Pregnancy test in the trash can.
Uh-oh.
We got to follow up with an investigation. Ma'am, are you pregnant? No, I've just gained weight. You talked to me last week. Oh, sorry, ma'am. I apologize again. I'm sorry. All right,
Let me look into that pussy and see if that baby's still there. Open up, baby. Baby, say something back if you're still in there.
Baby, do you need help?
Hello,
do you need
baby.
help?
I can't, guys. I'm gonna need to bring in another expert.
Oh, okay. Back to this. All right, we got to move quickly. Let's see. So yes, they lied and said that the person who reported her quote unquote missing was not her family. It was a person who reported that she was getting an abortion, and it was her romantic partner. The death investigation remained open for weeks, with detectives interviewing the woman and reviewing her text messages about the abortion. The documents show that the Johnson County District Attorney's Office informed deputies that, quote, the state could not statutorily charge her for taking the pill to cause the abortion or miscarriage of the non-viable fetus. And then that's when they were like, fuck, the district attorney's on my ass. We got to go outside the law to bring real street justice to this lady who killed her dead baby that was already dead. Flock wrote EFF's previous commentary on this case. So Flock wrote of EFF's previous commentary. So I like this part of the article. They're really breaking down the beef that this magazine has with Flock. Remember, Flock is the company that makes the license plate reader cameras that Texas was arguably illegally using across state lines to track a woman for getting an abortion. So here is Flock's statement. Earlier this month, there was purposely misleading reporting that a Texas police officer with the Johnson County Sheriff's Office used LPR to, quote, target people seeking reproductive health care. This organization is actively perpetuating narratives that have been proven false, even after the record has been corrected. According to the sheriff in Johnson County himself, this claim is unequivocally false. No charges were ever filed against the woman, and she was never under criminal investigation by Johnson County. She was being searched for as a missing person, not as a suspect of a crime. Now, back to EFF. The sheriff has since been arrested and indicted on felony counts in an unrelated sexual harassment and whistleblower retaliation case. That's right. We mentioned that in the headlines. The Johnson County cop from Texas arrested for sexually harassing his employees, but a judge has put him back at work, which is insane. Don't even have time to talk about that, but it is crazy. He also has been charged with aggravated perjury for allegedly lying to a grand jury. EFF filed public records requests with Johnson County to obtain more definitive account of events. So here is the account, what the investigation entailed. So over 2 days in April, the woman went through the process of taking medication to induce an abortion. 2 weeks later, her partner, who would later be charged with domestic violence against her, reported her to the sheriff's office. The documents confirm that the woman was not present at the home when the deputies, quote, responded to the death of, again, this is of a non-viable fetus, a fetus that's not even potentially going to be alive at any point. As part of the investigation, officers collected evidence that the man had assembled of the self-managed abortion, including photographs, the FedEx envelope, the medication it arrived in, and the instructions for self-administrating the medication. So again, they were presenting to us that it was her family who reached out because this lady was missing. Nothing to do with an abortion, fellas. I promise y'all. We like abortion. We love women having abortions and killing babies, right, fellas? No, this was the man who was abusing her, compiled evidence. He compiled the evidence of her abortion pill abortion, and then the cops took that and ran with it, got on the LPR cameras, started looking at her fucking text messages to confirm that she had an abortion, and then fucking went after her.
What a bitch. This dude is a fucking grade A bitch, bro. You know, first off, we can't even get past the fact that you didn't just snitch. You snitched on a woman for having an abortion? They're beyond stitches, dog.
On your partner. This is a girl you're in a relationship with. Obviously, they're broken up at this moment, but that's him like, that's...
You deserve your ass. That's a new level of dirty nigga. I hope she never fucks with you. I mean, obviously, you fucking tried to pin a murder on her. Your boyfriend tried to pin a murder on you. This sounds like some Lifetime movie. This
is a Lifetime movie. Every man in this story is an evil villain.
Piece of shit.
Every single man in this story.
Truly, she is like when you want to talk about an actual victim, from every male that has interacted with this
catch
woman
a damn break because all these fucking men in her life.
Woman at every corner and in the world, and it's like thinking about it, like realizing it is like, wow, that's crazy. But I can only imagine from her perspective, it's a fucking nightmare to live. I can't only imagine how horrible, everywhere, like the dude she had a baby with, and she had to I got to get rid of this baby because I don't. What happens if it turns out like this motherfucker? And then everybody else is just like, I'm gonna pin it on murder. God damn.
Yeah.
Dude,
the cops were literally tracking her down to pin. Because again, the other part of this is that we now know from the district attorney that they were trying to seek charges on her. Remember, they were trying to do a death investigation. And the DA had to tell them, no, that's not going to fly. Even in Texas, this shit is not going to fly. And they were like, all right, how do we do this? Fellas, let's put our brains together and figure out a way we can bring this woman to justice. You, sir, scary-looking guy, random-ass guy who is abusing her, you welcome to the team. Get him a uniform. Get him a badge and a gun. Can we get this man a gun? All right, how do we do this?
Yeah, no, you don't want your exes to get deputized. You the first one going out. Like, oh, shit. You giving her a gun? Fuck. But...
Yeah. I mean that wraps that wraps up the gist of the story. Insane story.
So fucked up all around, bro. Like the abortion stuff in the South really, really gets because it's like direct laws attacking just straight up women.
Yeah,
just straight up women in the hospital. If you're having a miscarriage or something like that, the doctors will be like, you just got to pass it naturally because we can't give you any medicine or we're helping, contribute to the death of a fetus or something like that. And it's like, what the hell?
Yeah.
This is real. Women have been having miscarriages from the dawn of time, from the dawn of humanity. And you cannot give them medicine for miscarriage because you're afraid you're going to go to jail for murder. How dumb of a society do we live? We live in a genuinely, we've shackled our minds and it's insane.
I mean, it's all insane, but the fact that this was not a non-viable fetus adds this extra layer because you can't, at the end of the day, you can't really argue when life starts. People will just believe that a fetus is a baby, and it's okay, that's your belief. But not everyone believes that. I can't argue your belief. All I can say is women have a right to believe how they want to believe about what's in their body. But this is not even that. The fetus was unviable. It was, if you believe that was a baby, it's a dead baby. Yeah. You're not even trying to save a life. That's what they always say. But we're trying to save babies. It's a non-viable thing. You are just wielding national surveillance tools to track down a woman who has in your mind, a already dead baby inside of her. For what? For what? She already had the abortion. It's over. It's over. And the guy who you're fighting for is abusing her. Anyways, we're done with this. I mean, we're just at this point. It's hard for us not to keep talking about this because it's so insane. But that's the fucking story. That's shout out Texas.
So yeah, surveillance states merging in with our repressive. It is really kind of interesting to see like how our technologically advanced surveillance state merges in with our fucking ancient fucking primordial rustic barbaric laws that come from ancient times, and they just merge to create this hellscape we live in. But we're going to move on to another particular type of hellscape, the digital one. Migrant Insider. Did not know that was a fucking... All right, it's like Insider, but for migrant.
It is that.
Okay.
Yep. Yes.
Right on. Scoop. Apple quietly made ICE agents a protected class. Sorry. Apple has quietly removed de-icer. De-icer. First off, it's
not DEI, sir. Damn. That's understandable. I get it.
I said these niggas cooked. When I saw it, I said, yo, they cooked.
DEI.
DEI. I said,
DEI, sir. Hey, this is Ashton at the voting booth. They're like, hey, what can I get you? Some DEI, sir.
No, I thought it was like a play like DEI, but like ice. I thought they were like poking fun at the DEI wordplay. I didn't know. I was like, ooh, these boys are cooking over here. DEI, sir.
No, they're not lyrical wordsmiths like you.
Yeah, no, I thought I got this excited when I saw the word barcade and when I saw barcade and I saw the business, I said arcade.
Yeah.
Oh, God wanted this to exist. Yeah. That's what I thought about de-icer. But just de-icer. Okay.
De-icer, yes. Sorry.
Less fun.
Sorry to break the bad news.
I like DEI. All right, guys. Apple has quietly removed de-icer, a civic reporting app used to log immigration enforcement activity from its app store after a law enforcement complaint. Karens became Karen. Cops snitched. Damn. Yeah. Invoking a rule normally reserved for protecting marginalized groups from hate speech. According to internal correspondence reviews by Migrant Insider, Apple told developer Raphael Concepcion that the app violated guideline 1.1.1, which prohibits defamatory, discriminatory, or mean-spirited content directed at religion, race, sexual orientation, gender, national ethnic origin, or other targeted groups.
Damn.
Really leaning on that other targeted
group. I mean, that's why your DEI confusion is kind of genius, kind of brilliant, because it is like they are making ICE DEI.
Yeah, I'm like,
they're saying you can't stop being racist against ICE officers. We will in this house. We love ICE.
Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about? The lib signs on the door. We think gay man love is love. Black Lives Matter. And ICE Lives Matter also.
Yeah, literally. I mean, and also it's just like I feel like with how cultish this whole era is of like we live in stand culture politics, and like our president is like the fucking Nicki Minaj of like presidents. These people could probably ICE agents looked at like discrimination against religion. That's us. We're a religion. ICE is a religion. They're basically religious zealots when it comes to like ethno cleansing, race, the white race.
People hate us for no reason. Meanwhile, there's like a child on his knee as he's saying that. He's like, why do they all judge us without getting to know us? It's like we're trying to get to know you. You have a mask on. We can't get to know you.
Yeah. Which one thing I will say, this has been an odd thing I've noticed ever since the ICE agents have come. They have changed YN culture. The little YNs, they're not wearing ski masks as much anymore ever since that's how bad ICE agents are. They got YN. They be like, I'm bad, but I ain't. I'm not ICE agent monster kidnap a family off the street bad.
Yeah.
So
I mean, I'll kill my ops, but I'm not a xenophobe.
What the fuck? I choose my ops based off of like who they are, not the color of their skin.
Yeah.
I am.
I pull the trigger based on the content of their character.
Yeah. It was fun.
Bow, 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 bow.
Jokes, but that shit is accurate as fuck.
Oh yeah,
they really ain't like a Mexican. Get them. But Apple's justification went further. Information provided to Apple by law enforcement shows that your app violates Guidelines 1.1.1 because it proposes to provide location information about law enforcement officers that can be used to harm such officers individually or as a group. The company wrote in its removal notice, the decision effectively treats federal immigration agents as a protected class, people. A novel interpretation of Apple's hate speech policy that shields one of the most powerful arms of government from public scrutiny.
Damn.
Yeah. They also turned off Face ID. If you want to use your phone, you gotta show your papers. That's a new rule Apple has implemented. All right.
That's real?
No. Why would they make you show your fucking papers?
Yeah. I forget this is a comedy podcast.
What the fuck?
A joke? What the fuck? That's inappropriate. I love that it's called Guideline 1.1.1. You have violated Guideline 1.1.1.
So they have like that's like their first.
That's
thing,
their first thing.
Yeah,
don't be racist.
Yeah,
I agree with that being the first thing. Don't be racist.
Yeah.
Don't be anti-Semitic.
But now, I mean,
don't hate ICE. Why would you do that? That's wrong.
It goes in line with these corporations working with fucking Nazi ass regimes. Apple's all Volkswagen. It's in its Volkswagen era, you know.
Yeah.
Giving Trump $15 million, 16 however, you know what I mean? This is a MAGA device. It's a MAGA company. It's
of course. I mean, all these tech companies, you know, Meta and Microsoft have been working with Israel, putting together the apartheid tech regime, and we figure out that technology, and then we bring it back on home. Bring it back on here. Thank you, Israel.
Go to the Genius Bar, and it's just a bunch of ICE agents. You know, something's wrong with my phone. Well, I see the problem. You're Mexican. Problem's right here. I see what the issue is. Yeah, but just to let you guys know what's going on with Apple, they're being hoe-asses. You remember when I'm sorry, I keep moving this mic. Remember when Apple tried to act like they were for the people? They're like, we're not giving up your two-factor authentication. We would never, ever let anyone into your personal information, your private. ICE agents, protecting ICE agents who kidnap people off the streets. We're getting rid of that. We got to, we live in the vibe shift has truly shifted. We're far from the woke era.
You missed your granddad ever since he got shipped off to South Sudan. Well, guess what? You're violating Guideline 1.1.1 right now.
This is what FaceTime is for. We made FaceTime so we could deport your grandfather back to Ecuador. You could call him. That's the whole original idea behind it. But
damn. Well, that's our episode.
Yeah, guys.
Thanks for listening.
Catch you motherfuckers on the pod.
Sign up for the Patreon.
You want more. You want more of this beautiful face. Peace.